Good day, America. We have here the 2018 F150 XLT crew cab. This one in particular has the 3.5 Ecoboost and with the new 10-speed transmission, which is very interesting. I'm just gonna walk around really quick so you can see all the angles. That's definitely one of the nicest improvements, I think, that F150 embossed into the tailgate. I think that looks great. And yes, yeehaw, that is right. So for the XLT, you do not get LED lighting. You get the standard housing, which does not bother me at all. I don't need LED lighting. I still think the taillights look really nice. This is just a standard bed. Ignore that fire hose. You do get LED box lighting right there, your top one, and right there. You just come right here, open that guy, click the button inside, which is right here, and you got lit up box. Comes in handy at night. The back window, definitely a smoother design than the original ones. I like how it all flows in one window instead of it being two lines on the side. It just looks way cleaner that way. This one in particular is the chrome package. I actually do not even like chrome, but it looks really great on the black. So if I didn't get black, I would have gotten the painted bumpers. The front end looks a lot like the 2500s now. They kind of meshed them together. All share the similar looks. So we'll step inside. So, first off, here is the interior. And in my opinion, this is a lot for an XLT. Doesn't look like an XLT to me. I had a 2010 XLT and it had not even close to the amount of stuff this thing has. Alright, your steering wheel controls. So this side controls your radio. You got your phone. This all controls this is all cruise control. And this guy right here controls the screen that's right there. I'll show you that in a second. This one is loaded in my opinion for an XLT because I mean, I got heated seats, I got all my controls, a full-size screen. I like how they keep knobs and they don't put buttons because the knobs just, it's so much easier than having to click a button a million times. You got your 4x4 knob, pull it out to lock your rear diff, which is awesome. Trailer backup and trailer brake. Have not used the trailer backup yet, so I'm interested in how that'll work. 12 volt and your AC, which is great. You just can get a house plug and plug her on in. One thing I don't like, but it's just a thing now for Ford, is this auto start stop, but it's really not that bad once you use it for a while. It does actually save me a lot on gas, surprisingly, but I normally just turn it off depending on how cold it is outside, or I just don't want to listen to it start and stop. So let me put the key in and we can show you some more on the interior here. One thing I really like, it's still a key. I do not like having a fob. It's got a little flip key, which I like. I do not like button start. Button start, I just feel like that'll break over time. I want a key that you can control starting the car. So, as you see here, Only got about 3,600 miles on it. And 19.3 has been my average so far, which I think that's pretty darn good for a full-size truck. I've gotten in the 20s on the highway. I mean, it's still breaking in for a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that. So on this screen, you have your trip there. You have a second trip. Your fuel economy, you can reset that. See, I'm getting 20.6 today, just driving on the highway. That shows your last 30 minutes, compass, start, stop, and then you can go to the main menu. Tells you your tire pressure, digital speed, engine hour, idle hours, all this good stuff. Trans temp, that's pretty cool if you're towing a lot, so you can make sure you're not overheating it. You got a whole bunch of towing settings. Not even going to get into that, because if you love towing, then that'll be good for you. But if you're not towing much, then it really does not apply to you. Off-road, kind of interesting. Tells you your degree of tilt. We're at a 3% tilt right now because our driveway here is kind of at a down angle. You got basically your vertical and horizontal tilt, and then the middle one is which wheel is using what, it's telling you the distribution of the wheels. Sorry about that. And that's it there too. And then you just got settings for basic setting stuff. This particular one has the extended fuel tank, so it's got 36 gallons, and as you can see, I still have almost 300 miles to E, and I've already gone 336 miles. So this thing gets like 600 something miles on the tank, which is awesome. Only have to fill up like twice a month. So this is your basic home screen. You got nav already in an XLT. Your music, your phone, all right there. You can see my name. Don't use that. Don't use that name. But so you can just go to your audio. I think this thing has some pretty great speakers for being basically your standard truck. So let's just do some country. It sounds pretty good to me. So you got your music, you can hook anything to it. Your phone, all your phone stuff. It reads you your text messages. That's kind of handy if you are always on the go. You got your basic nav. I mean, it's nav, does whatever you need to do for that. Apps is kind of interesting. Look at that. Oh, let's go to the movies. Click movies. Movies, it'll find the nearest movie theaters near you. You can navigate to it, or click show times. Look at that. You got all your show times right there. You want your weather? Boom, you got weather. 5-day forecast right there in your truck. Even a full radar. I mean, look at that. These things are becoming computers. Yes, we are in Michigan. Just some basic interior stuff. This little guy right here is actually kind of cool. It's got 2 USBs and basically just storage. It stores my bubble gum, and it has my iPod in here. And when you click it, slide shut. That's kind of nifty. Got just storage here. Underneath here is actually a hidden compartment. If I can grab this with one hand. Probably can't. Oh, yep. So there actually is some little storage under there. You can hide something. I don't know what you'd hide, but little pen holder and cup holders. Your center console's got this removable tray. I just use it for change, and then a huge amount of space, which obviously I have like nothing in there right now. You can fit like a laptop in there, a whole laptop, whole bunch of stuff. Oh, and another small thing is the handles. They just click like this. I really like them because you just grab right here and click and pull. But some people, they're like, where's the handle? Excuse my coat and my sunglasses and a new hitch, but ignore that stuff. Tons of room back here for all those people who want to be back here not paying attention to you and just on their phones doing whatever. You got USBs, plugs everywhere. They got their own air conditioning back here. Got a little storage underneath your seat. Seat pulls down just like the other models, pulls right up. Same with this one. And then underneath this one you have a hitch, or not a hitch, I'm sorry, a jack for a flat. And one other thing out in back, your trailer connectors. This one actually, this is for your spare to get that down. They're right there and right up against the license plate, which is a good spot. You can see your camera right there. The tailgate is super lightweight compared to the old ones, obviously because it's aluminum. So let's pop the hood. They changed how the hood works now. The grill does not come up with the hood anymore. So this is the 3.5 Ecoboost. I actually was very nervous about getting an Ecoboost just because of the horror stories I've heard of everyone saying they're going to blow up the first 10,000 miles you own it, or it's just a poor motor. But this thing is the new redesigned composite graphite block. I mean, this thing's an absolute tank. And it is a fast motor, I'm going to tell you that. I was very surprised coming from all V8 trucks in the past. I've only had 4 trucks. I mean, I've had the old 5.0, I've had the 460 big block, I've had the 4.6 V8, and I mean, none of these are even close to the power this thing puts out. Especially with that 10-speed transmission, this thing's pulling all the time. No matter every gear it pulls. So I'll take you for a ride, maybe show you some 0 to 60. I mean, that'll speak for itself. This thing is fast. So the first thing I want to kind of mention is if you like a truck that has a mean growl, a lot of sound, the Ecoboost is definitely not your truck you're gonna want. This thing's super quiet. I mean, all you can hear is the little turbo spool. And if you really want that V8 sound, you're just gonna have to get the V8. You can't. The V6 will never sound like the V8, but it honestly doesn't sound too bad if you leave it stock. If you're gonna put some aftermarket mufflers on it, you're gonna make it sound like a Ricer. But so I live kind of on an open road, so I'll show you a 0 to 60 here in a minute. But the 10-speed, it's really smooth, shifts flawlessly, honestly. I haven't had it stutter much. I had that problem with my 2010 F150. It would kind of stutter randomly. It would just kind of skip, and then I'd have to reset the battery for it to stop doing that, which got kind of old. This one hasn't had that problem, but I mean, it is still pretty new. Still only has like 3,600 miles on it, but we'll see. Alright, I'm going to show you 0 to 60. It is in sport mode, so I'm going to show you how much power this thing really has. Was a good I'm not sure how many seconds that was. You can probably figure that out in the comments or when you watch the video, but this thing pulls like crazy for a full-size truck. And you can see how the RPMs are staying high. It's because it's in sport mode. I can put it back to normal and it'll go down. So if you're that guy who likes his foot down on that pedal, put it in sport mode and go ahead and have a good old time. But you're gonna suck through that gas, but oh well. But in all, this truck is very smooth, very quiet, shifts very smoothly. Comparing it to my old truck, it has so much more agility. It can turn way better. It feels lighter when you drive it. It doesn't feel so heavy. You can take corners much smoother. What else? I mean, it's not really stiff riding, but it's not really bouncy. I mean, it feels solid and firm on the road. It's a good feeling. All right, so I'll do another little test here. Once I get up to about 40-ish, 40 to 50. So with these turbos, and if you want to get around someone in traffic, in the old V8, sometimes it's just like, wah, and you're not moving anywhere, like on the highway. But this thing gets up to speed pretty quick when you want it to, just at a normal speed. So I'll show you really quick here. See, I mean, it just jumped up to 80 in seconds there. It has no problem getting around people. So the brakes on this thing are, I would say, good. They're not extremely touchy, but they're not spongy. They're kind of in the middle. They do get you got to get used to them a little bit, because especially the 10-speed, it slows down a little bit different than with like a 6-speed or a 4-speed, because it's shifting down 10 gears instead of 4 or 5. So it goes really fast, but you can tell there is a difference of how it slows down. So keep that in mind if you're driving it. I mean, you can see right there, if you can, I don't know if you can see that, it's going down right now, all the gears. You would think when you're driving it, you're in like 3rd gear when it's speeding up, but I mean, it's already up in 6th gear, so you really don't even notice the shifts. So it does come with the reverse camera, which can be very helpful when you're trying to hook up to a trailer. I tend to not use the camera, I just like using mirrors, but it is helpful. And it does have the beepers, which can get obnoxious when you don't want them to beep. This trailer backup, if you click it, you can see right there, adds a trailer. I have no idea what it exactly does, because this moves side to side. So I'll have to look into that more to know more about that system. I'm sure it's just guiding you, helping you back up. But that'll be a cool feature for people who tow a lot. Overall, really love the truck. I think they're a huge improvement from the old ones, and I would recommend it to anyone. But anyone on the fence about buying an Ecoboost, I wouldn't be too afraid of buying one. I would say go try one out, drive it around for a little bit, and actually feel how they drive. It's definitely a lot different feeling, lot more torque pull than the V8. But if you're a diehard sound for the V8 or not naturally aspirated, I would just stick with the V8. Don't worry about even going to these Ecoboost. But if you have any more things you want to see on this truck, anything you want to know, let me know. I'll make another video on that, and we'll get get rolling. I'll make some more in-depth videos later on about how it's doing, anything that goes wrong, and what changes on it. So thanks for watching, and just remember, if you want to be cool, get yourself a Ford.